I'm sure he would get full credit for this answer. Go ahead, Kyson. Why does lightning appear in different colors?
Under rare circumstances, the lightning will excite different atoms in the air, which results in different wavelengths being emitted.
So the keywords he had on there was different atoms, exciting, because you have to excite them, and it creates different wavelengths. And I also like the with the on rare occasions, and I'm sure he pulled that out because he knows that normally when you see lightning bolts, they appear to be the same color almost every time. They're kind of a yellowy, bluish, white. And the reason why you see different colors is because when they pass through various atoms, electrical lightning bolts excite those atoms and cause the color. You might even notice the word lightning gets its name from the fact that it produces light. Curious little fact. Can you actually see electricity? No, you can't. The only reason why you can see lightning bolts is because there are atoms in the air. If you could take the atoms out of the air, would you see any lightning? No. The electricity would still be there, absolutely. You'd still get shocked. But the only reason why you see it is because it's exciting the atoms in the air. And the atoms that you see being excited are the ones that cause the color. Yes? Yes, absolutely. These are not photoshopped. These are not produced by somebody else. This is actually real pictures taken of real lightning. And all you'd have to have is the right kind of atom, right? If you have the right element composition in the air for lightning to travel through, it would appear that color. Now, our atmosphere is not like a peanut butter on bread. A lot of people picture our atmosphere as being all the same thing mixed together. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes you'll have big pockets of certain kinds of gases, and if you have a lightning storm in one of those pockets, it can turn the lightning a different color. You may go your whole life and never see this phenomenon, but it's possible. Yes? Abby?
I don't know if I answered exact.
I'm sorry, Abby, you don't know if your answer's correct?
I don't know if I answered exact.
Oh, it makes sense. Would you like to share it, or you want me to come see?
Either.
Okay, go ahead, Abby, share it.
I said the colors of the lightning depend on the atoms in the air that get excited. It creates different wavelengths because of electrical energy.
Yeah, I think perfectly fine. The one thing I would say, I think the part you're getting confused is you have because of electrical energy, and you can be any kind of energy, right? So maybe the words you have because of electrical energy could be because of atoms, because of electrical energy in the air. So you literally could take these words electrical energy and put it there, and atoms put it there. I think that makes more sense. Abby, is that less confusing? The idea is electrical energy is just in the air already, and the atoms are what create the color. Yes. It depends on how you look at lightning. Mr. G looks at lightning as very much like something just in the air already. The reason why you see it is because of atoms, but some people think lightning's a thing. It's really not a thing. It's just but it just depends on how you talk about it. And there's not like a wrong interpretation. Most scientific interpretations, it's just electrical energy, but it's not incorrect to say it's a thing. Now, this is where Mr. G needs to take a temperature. The temperature I need to take is not of a chemical or of an energy. I need the temperature of you guys, the classroom. I need to know where it is that we left off in the spectroscopy last time. So, Toby, you already looked ahead. Where were you when the bell rang off?
Well, I don't know if this is the same for everyone, but I don't have observations, but spectroscopic wavelengths for water.
Okay, so according to Toby, when he looks at his spectroscopic part 1, which for those of you who forgotten, it's located on your Google Classroom, but you may have already started in Google Docs if you were here on Friday. So Ivan, since you weren't, you want to go to Google Classroom first. Pull up go to the experiment template section. You can click the template topic if you want. And pull out spectroscopic part 1. So, oh no, there's an error. No errors. I don't like errors.
Yeah, you were like deeply explaining oxygen, and then we started.
Okay. So according to Toby, we had just written down oxygen because it was so faint it was hard to see. And then the bell rang right as we were looking for water. Okay. All right. So remember, if you're doing the science experiment, you need spectroscopic part 1. You also need the visible spectrum. If you don't have the visible spectrum up on your screen, it's not possible to make quantitative observations unless you memorize this. I had one of my students already starting to memorize this, which is pretty cool. And the reason why I think it's really cool is that this is what happens when you're doing science. Remember I told you at the beginning of the year that Mr. G was never going to stop and make you take notes on this. I was never going to make you memorize this. But I know that some of you are already remembering what number is which. And the reason why is because you use it a bunch. When you use it a bunch with something like spectroscopy, you get really used to remembering that 650 is red. It pops up in your head. A lot of people will not have to go back to this. They'll start to just remember it. And that's exactly naturally what happens in science. Mr. G doesn't know that. There's no reason to know that by walking around in your everyday life. But if you're doing spectroscopy, you have to. And if you get really used to using it in spectroscopic experiments, then you'll just know it. Really cool little feature of science. If you do science, you end up knowing science. If you just try to know science, there's a really good chance you won't know it, actually. The science, the data on that we have says that it's actually very difficult to learn science from a book. It's much easier and much more effective to learn it while doing it. It's possible to learn from a book, but your return rate is very low. Your margin of error is very high. So, we left up a part 1, and in part 1, oh no, my computer is, good start. In part 1, we remember the spectroscopes use energized water molecule, and I believe that's where we left off, right on water. We had already seen oxygen. I let you know that there were how many wavelengths for oxygen? It should be like, how many of you guys do you have on your observations? 4? Yep. So 4. There's one of them. I believe there was, we had one at like 400. I believe there was one at like 550? One at around 600 and one at 650? Okay. I have a memory. So, now that we remembered exactly where we left off, we do need to figure out what's inside of water. Real briefly, inside of hydrogen, you guys should have one at about, what is it, like 490, 480, somewhere in there. And you probably have another one somewhere around 680, probably. 670, somewhere in there. 660, that's fine. As long as you're between 650 and 700, that should be fine. So you should be around that for the hydrogen one. And where do you want to leave? Keep up and just put in the water one. And if you're, maybe it's tomorrow, we can come back and get the others. It'll take just a couple minutes. Yes. Oh, I've had people have that problem today. What I've seen people fix it is close Google Classroom. Oh, sorry, not Google. Close Google completely. Quit it. Like close quit if you have to. And then go back into Google and then sign out of your name and sign back in. Yeah. Basically, just sign out of the whole Google account.
What?
Oh, you got one.
We have like 2 seconds. We're like a minute.
All right. Mr. G is coming around with the spectroscopic glasses. Remember, I will treat you like my dog if I have to. My dog eats paper. She eats everything Egyptian. So when she rips up my paper, I never give her any paper that's important. These papers are very important to me. So if you are like my dog and you rip them, I will only give you.
The bad one.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, it's bad. Oh, there is? Remember, they go on like glasses. You don't have to pull them across your eyes. If you are wearing glasses on your face, you sit them on top of those. You don't have to try to wear them and you can break them. Oh my goodness, these are
That hurts my eye.
Huh?
That hurts my eye a lot. I can't do that.
All right. So one more time, remember you guys have already seen water without glasses. Let's go ahead and see water with glasses. Remember it's going to show up right here. When it shows up, you'll be able to see, if you look straight at the light, that's not what you read. That's the regular naked eye. You want to look to the sides. You'll see a pattern repeating. That pattern that repeats is what you need to write down. Not every part of the pattern, just the very first set. You should see, I believe there's 3 very clear lines for oxygen. See if you can find them. Oh, it's not oxygen, this is water. 3 very clear lines for water.
There's 4 of them are very clear.
Most students report 3. If you cannot see them where you're at, it's because there is a very definite purple.
I see the 5.
If you are far away, the purple might be hard to see, but there is a very definite purple located would be about 400 wavelengths. And then there's another cyan wavelength, and then there's a red wavelength. You can probably see the cyan and the red wavelength from where you're sitting, but if you can't see the purple one at 400, there is one there. There is a very clear, bright purple light. If you can't see it, if you'd like to verify from Mr. G, of course, after you write it down, you're welcome to come up. Don't stand in front, but stand to the side. You can take a look at it. You just might have to get closer. So if you're looking at it and you go, Mr. G, I see the cyan line. I see that one, that teal-colored cyan line. I see the red line, but I do not see the dark purple line. You're welcome to come up and verify. Can anybody guess why you can't see the dark purple line very well? You have to come up closer.
Because it's faint.
Where's it coming from? Where's the dark purple line coming from? Oxygen in there. Yeah. And oxygen doesn't light up very easily, does it? So you have to get closer.
What's the cyan one?
It depends. You have to look at the wavelength of the spectrum thing. I didn't know. I lost it. It should be around, around 420 right here.
Let's say 470.
470.
Why? So is there 400? Is there 400?
What?
I can see like behind like a little red.
It should be a real bright red line. One of these. Now, if you can pull it out, there should be another one at about 550. But that's for oxygen, and it's harder to see. The only one that's really clear, easy to see, is the purple line. It's very difficult to use pictures with the spectroscopes because it doesn't show very much at all. You try. Remember, if your screen's turned up all the way, it can't interfere with the spectroscopy. You might want to turn it down, just the brightness of your screen. If your screen's turned up all the way bright, it can't interfere. Meaning it'll actually interfere when you look up at these.
Can you watch my stream?
Yeah.
You don't have to close out. Just go to it.
Remember, nanometers is not NM, it's UM because there's already an NM in another field of science.
What? I'm not doing right. Everyone else on the server. I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's play a different game. I'm gonna play a different game now because I'm done playing it. I'm so bad. Should I do a build battle? What should I play, Tori?
Once you have oxygen, once you have water down, you're done. You've seen it all. That is the experiment. You can start the conclusion.
I have seen everything there is to know.
Nice.
This is water.
I see like yellowish color, cyan, red. Red is the most
Wait, Mr. B.
Oh, I'm tired. Forgot about my game cam that I have going on right now. I think I'm just gonna put it just on game. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think should I put my face cam on or not? Can I move it? Where should I put it?
see those. So the idea is, I did see some of them.
Unicorn? I don't know how to freaking make a unicorn. I want some white stuff.
On white?
White and blue. I'm pretty sure that's what color unicorns are.
On white?
No, really? Okay, this is gonna be the unicorn's horn.
What?
I have to make a unicorn.
They're there. The reason why you couldn't see them very clearly is because the only reason. There's another
Why are
reason,
you making
which
this
is
unicorn?
in water.
Because it's what I'm supposed to build. It's a build battle.
So you should only see twice the amount of color. That's another reason. Guys, please turn off alternate lights while we're doing experiments. Thanks.
I'm pretty sure this is what unicorn's horns looks like.
Doesn't very specific, so.
Or is it? Wait,
It's also
4 minutes?
There's
Crap. I'm like nowhere close. Okay. Okay.
Since you don't have enough battery, yes. Or
Okay, if all I make is the horn, then it's gonna look super weird. But I only have 4 minutes.
what?
I wonder if anyone's actually watching my stream.
Oh yeah, functions, but it's really hard. Oh, but it's really hard to
Okay. I'm gonna put a beautiful blue spiral going through my horn. Okay, Tori. I'm gonna do a beautiful blue spiral going through my horn. 3 minutes remaining? Okay.
I don't know what it means.
because the glass is expensive. Because that's what you said, right? I see a lot of folks working on conclusions. That is awesome. I want you to know Mr. G is going to give us, let's do, for now, let's do 6. I'm going to give us 6 minutes to finish our conclusions, and then we're going to go on to part 2. Part 2 is already online. I actually already put the template online, so if you finish part 1 and you're ready, if you want to start part 2, the template's online already. I see you there, part 2.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You actually get to see all of them.
I said this means that
Look at that. That's quality. That's what a unicorn horn looks like. Okay, now let's make a derpy unicorn. Some
I'm
black.
excited for tomorrow.
Isn't everyone that's going? Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, the horn is above the eyes, right? We're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes, the horn is
5.
working above the eyes.
Okay, this is where the eyes are gonna go. I think they're gonna
Are
be
you
like
doing this again?
what?
What are you doing?
I'm making the eyes.
What happened to the other parts?
This is all I have done. Okay, I'm gonna fill all this in.
What are you doing?
I'm making it a unicorn. See, these are the eyes. You're gonna have a nice smile going on.
So, if you saw that,
Oh, I was like, what the hell is
Okay. Okay.
Dude, you need to
Hold
work on
up.
this.
There's my unicorn.
You need to work on it.
I did work on it a little bit. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be done.
Yes, it does. He said
No.
it has to turn it.
We have to turn it in that time. Okay, I'm sorry guys. My conclusion was right.
to see your homework.
I'm just trying to stream right now, Tori. Actually, I don't think I have anyone watching it anyway. Yeah.
Not even me.
Yeah, why aren't you? It was
Because I
gonna
can't
be-
open up a new tab.
Why not?
Watch.
Okay, right click on there.
Pokemon is the name for a piece of light.
New window. Oh, it's because you have too much stuff open then. That's probably why.
Remember, the last part
I
is
have to get back to my story. Wait, what kind of things do we have there when it's not time to make it to me, but I
so that's what you saw this time. Did you think of another thing you could do to see if you always see them? So you said that we would see rainbows, right? That's what your theory is. And this means that is your theory. And you think that every time you look at an atom, you should see rainbow colors. Could you test that? If you had perfect, if you had anything you wanted to test. Would you test that theory? Think about it this way. We only looked at how many atoms. Yeah, 3. Well, 2 atoms in the molecule, right? Other atoms. Pick one, pick another atom you'd like to see. And that's exactly what it is. Your immune versus weird.
I don't know how, I don't know how to
Okay, now see if you can do it.
See if I can do what? No.
My live stream.
So, did they do that?
I hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know what's going on with my Minecraft right now. Did I win?
So 2 options.
Walking Dead. What's Dragon Wars?
Did you win?
No.
Who won?
I don't know.
Play football.
Did it say that somewhere?
Well, it did.
That sounds stupid. Play some murder mystery. Where is Mr. G? Mr. OG. Let's play some of this right here. I need to see if I have any volume going on and stuff. Okay. I want to be the murderer, but I don't have a very good murderer chance. I have like an 8% detective chance though. I'm so bad at playing detective though. Yes! Yes! No way. Okay. Okay.
Did murder.
Yeah. Okay, this is left 14. Okay, actually, let's see. I'm gonna just follow someone off into a hallway and murder them. So that person looks like a good person to murder. Doesn't it? Where'd they go?
Oh, we need to pick them. This has lots of So, guess what I mean? Pick 2 specific ones, like carbon and oxygen.
God, I know who it is.
Carbon dioxide. So, like, pick specific ones. Does that help? That should make it
Okay.
more clear. If your hypothesis is too general, it can be difficult.
Oh yeah, I killed someone. I just killed someone, Tori. I just killed another person, actually. I have 2 minutes to kill everyone.
Is anybody already done and ready to do part 2? Like part 2's on their screen.
I got killed. I killed 3 people.
1, 2 people? Okay. So those 2 people tell me we need 2 more minutes. Because I don't want to make them wait. 2 more minutes before we start. Sorry. Oh, did I wait for my open? Well, that's sorry. Water.
Do we turn it in?
What? Seesaw, absolutely. Oh yeah. Ira, do you have a sign up for Seesaw? Are you signed up? This is something you have. Seesaw account. That's right, you do. You just need to turn it in.
Okay. Okay. I'm a detective now. People have already died. Holy cow. Can I ride the horsey? I can't ride the horsey. Oh, no.
I have a red crayon. A sky. I thought this was a demon.
No, we wouldn't be able to test that hypothesis because but it's a good hypothesis. You can do it with special. There are special tools we have.
You can't even see him. I thought it was a demon at first.
Yes, that makes more sense. If your hypothesis is too general, sometimes you don't know. I have no idea. Oh,
I shot them first. I shot them first. I swear, I shot them first. Look, Tori, I shot them first. I'm gonna go back. I swear, I shot that person first. There was no way that I did not hit them. This is outrageous. Run, boy, run.
all right. Yeah. Light it up. Light it up.
No! I swear that happens again.
So we are now ready officially for spectroscopy part 2. Now, in spectroscopy part 1, you guys found out that if you looked at a star that looked like this, if you're looking at a star far, far away, this is the light you saw. Without spectroscopy, you could make a very poor assumption about this star. If this star looked like this, you would imagine that it only has this inside. Remember, I started this conversation a long time ago with what is the universe made of? How do scientists figure out what the universe is made of? Well, if you just use your eyeballs, these two stars look like they must be made of the same thing. So if you already knew this was hydrogen, and you looked up at a star and you saw this color, you go, ah, obviously this star is made of hydrogen, and that's it. Spectroscopy tells us a little bit of a different story. We know that the colors and the wavelengths emitted by hydrogen are definitely in this mystery star, but there must be some others, because there are wavelengths in here that are not in here. So there must be some other atoms, in the case of your guys' experiment, oxygen. Now, that's all fine and dandy like sour candy, Mr. G. If I was going to look up at the star to find out what's inside, I get it that I could use the light, and I have to use spectroscopic glasses to do so. But these, oxygen and hydrogen, aren't the only atoms around. There are tons of them. And so let's see tons of them. If you're looking at spectroscopy part 2, if you use Mr. G's template, I listed out the tons of them that we're going to see today. There's like, I think, 8 or 9. Those 8 atoms are all atoms that you can find inside of stars. You can find them there. So Mr. G has collected some. I have some in my gas tubes, and we're going to light them up using our electrical power. We're going to look at them with the naked eye. We're also going to look at them spectroscopically. Make sure that you have your visible wave spectrum chart up. Unless you memorized all the numbers and what they stand for, you definitely want to have that open on your screen as well, because we're going to do spectroscopy part 2. Krypton is a real thing. They named the planet after the element they discovered way before they wrote that story about
Superman.
Soup.
You want to turn into part 1?
Absolutely. Part 1 is do things.
The Google Classroom seesaw.
Seesaw. All experiments with the seesaw. All right, advanced class. It's so advanced, I think you guys don't need training wheels much anymore. Anybody want to take a training wheel off real fast? I'm curious. Tyra, you want to take a training wheel off real quick? The training wheel, normally we should use your training wheels for the hypothesis, right? Anybody willing to take a random stab at a way you can start this hypothesis? You don't have to finish it. You want to,
Okay.
Tyra, you want to try it? What do you what could be one hypothetical situation for this experiment? Art? How would you start your hypothesis? If what? I'm not mad at you, Tyra. If you can't do it, just pass. Okay, Toby, you got one? Give it a shot. What do you think we're going to do today? That's what goes to the start of the hypothesis. What are we going to do?
If we use spectroscopes, kind of just like the last time, if we use spectroscopes on different molecules and atoms, then
That's almost exactly what I had, Toby. Good job. No training was needed for Toby. Our vocabulary that I have should go on this page. If we use spectroscopes on other energized atoms, then blank goes blank. Very good job, Toby. Now, if you notice on the list, there are no molecules. There are none, mostly because I don't want to confuse you. But we're only going to look at atoms today. So, Kobe had it exactly correct. Technically correct, the best kind of correct. If we use spectroscopes on other energized atoms, then blank goes blank. You may not need the training wheels today, Toby.
I basically just read that.
Yeah. Mr. G doesn't throw curveballs. What? I wouldn't, right? Because you already tested that hypothesis. What kind of things do you think you'll see today? You already know that's. You think you'll see the same colors, same wavelengths? You think?
Not the same colors.
So I think I'll see different wavelengths. Yeah, they were first and last. What? Sure. Remember, Mike, did anybody have a hypothesis at the end of part 1 that looked just like this? It's possible too. You did, Eric? Yeah. I have numerous students whose hypothesis at the end of part 1 is exactly this hypothesis. On purpose, Mr. G does things in order that makes logical sense. If I was a scientist and I found out that H2O has hydrogen and oxygen inside, but I'm getting ready to look at stars, that's what I want to do, I sure wouldn't stop at H2O. I would keep going, find more atoms. Because I'm going to look at a star, I want to know all the things that are inside, because there are going to be lots. So we're going to look at a bunch. When you have your hypothesis done, you're ready to begin. Remember, when we start with neon will be right up here. When we start with neon, you'll have to do both a regular naked eye observation and a spectroscopic observation. Remember, you want qualitative data, you want the color, what would you call that color? And quantitative data, tell me the number in wavelengths, in nanometers. Is anybody still need training wheels? Awesome. Here's vocabulary in case you didn't add any into your experiment yet. Make sure that your hypothesis has some of this vocabulary. If you're trying to describe things without this vocabulary, you're not describing it very scientifically. The only way to get better at scientists is to use the word. What's that? Yeah, electromagnetic spectrum. The waves make up the spectrum. Sorry, you ready? You ready for neon? Are you sure? It kind of blows people's minds to be positive.
It's gonna be.
Sarah E says she's ready for neon. I don't know if she is.
Oh, I love neon.
What's that?
Neon lights.
You ready?
And oh, whoa,
All right,
whoa,
Grace is
whoa,
ready.
got me
Sarah,
walking
Grace is ready.
side.
Here's neon. Go for it.
Whoa!
It's like
Are you ready?
orange.
No one's ever ready for neon.
Oh, this is the one with alcohol. Give me that gold. I want some drugs. Okay, Tori, I'm gonna get some drugs.
You'll probably notice orange. You'll probably notice yellow, orange, and red in the spectroscopy, but something you can't see with the neckline is there's a clear green one on there. If you do it with the naked eye, you will not see green, but you will when you do spectroscopy. You do both right now. Neon will sit there until you're done.
It's like red, orange, or yellow.
Yes, right now. In order to get through this whole list, you need to do both visible with your eyeball and spectroscopically. I want you to know, I'm not going to wait on the next one. The next one's going to show up right over here where I'm standing. This one is nitrogen. When you're done with neon, just change your eyeballs over here. Here's nitrogen on this side of the room.
Whoa!
Got like blue, yellow, and red.
Well, they say
It's kind of like a whitish.
if you're struggling to see something, you should get up and get closer. That's something you can do. Don't stand in front of the light. Stay to the side of it.
Yeah, so.
Take off your spectroscopic glasses to move through the classroom as not to trip or fall. Remember, if you're done with number 1 and number 2 and you're ready for argon, the third one, argon's in the back of the room back here.
Oh yeah, science.
Argon is set up for you in the back.
It's like a.
You know what I can make I'm not ready.
What even color is that?
I know.
If you still need, anybody still need neon?
Yes.
Also, I'm going to change out neon as soon as we're ready.
Don't do that. Bad.
My eyes hurt.
If you're struggling to see it, you might want to turn down your screen brightness. Your screen brightness can interfere.
I don't know what to play now.
Ivan, you should see it.
Don't do the orange line.
Let's try Warlords. I think I've been on here a while, so I've never actually done it good.
Oh, you're doing it differently. It's easier.
Which way?
They're also repeating over here.
Where's the yellow one? I need help.
If you need to get closer to a light, don't guess. I purposely put them in different parts of the room so you can move without the glasses so it's not to fall over.
Take a chill pill. Guys, I really
When you get closer, you don't have to stand in front of it so other people can still see. Does anybody still need neon?
Yes.
Okay.
How do I play this?
There's no wavelength for white. If you see white, then you just put white. There's no
What
wavelength.
color is that with the naked eye? Someone tell me. It's like 460.
Hey Grace, you would expect to see lots of wavelengths when you use the spectroscopic glasses. And if you don't see a lot of wavelengths, it might be because it wasn't white in section.
Neon lights.
That's pretty fire, my friend. Go back to it.
Anybody still need neon?
Wait, is that argon?
Argon's in the back. Does anybody still need neon?
Nope.
Neon is going out. Krypton is coming over here. Krypton.
Krypton.
Is that Krypton?
Bloodlust.
Krypton is the next on the list, right?
Eyes is on blue team.
What?
Eyes is on blue team.
Can I talk to him?
There's no one even watching.
Very white light. Very white light.
Check to see if
Why would I get spam comments? Why aren't you watching my stream? We need 60 people.
how do I do that?
Why are you such a scrub? Okay, watch.
Well, no, full spectrum is there's no such creature.
I want to say it's like blue. And
Orange, green, and purple. Everyone still need nitrogen.
how would you describe that color? I don't even know. 14 out of 60. Sorry, I'm leaving. Let's go on the Exuma Void server. What? Can we do Mindplex? No, I don't want to do Mindplex. Is it live?
This one, this is Argon.
No, I don't want to play this.
Argon is very, very confusing. It's got a purple, dark purple at 400. It's got two shades of green, an orange and a red. There are two shades of green.
I just want to leave. Okay. Looks like I can't be on the server anymore. Go to Mindplex.
Does anybody still need nitrogen?
What?
Nitrogen?
Fine.
Okay.
You guys can see my single player world.
Let's just stand right in front.
Wait, where's the injury? Where's the AC? Smooth. Which one is that?
That's nitrogen.
my head hurts. Honestly, my head really hurts.
Which one is that?
What? Argon, I think.
No, because that one's Argon.
That's Krypton.
That's Krypton. Is that Venom and Xenon and then that's Helium?
No, that's not freaking helium.
And what is it?
That is Argon.
No, Argon was up front at the very. Argon was back there. So it didn't change Argon?
No.
Okay, what would you describe that color as?
I don't know if orange is really.
You describe it with your own mind.
I don't even know what to call it. It's like pink. Okay, there we go. Where is he? At. Why is my stuff not loading? Okay. Lag. Yeah. This one I already did.
Does anybody still need nitrogen? Nitrogen going once.
Take it out.
Nitrogen going twice. Alright. Nitrogen is coming out for Xenon in here. Xenon's coming on.
Xenon! Oh, yeah.
Xenon in here. You haven't seen a blue one yet. Somebody asked me about blue lightning. That's xenon.
Xenon sounds like that thing from
That's xenon over there.
I'm on Krypton. Please do not turn that off.
I'm not.
Yellow and green. 6 times green. That's still a lot.
Take off. I just want to rolly. That's blue. And we got some other colors going on here.
No.
I can't even see any colors with the spectroscopy
Go
glass.
over there.
Anybody still need argon?
No. What'd you put? Green and orange.
Don't razz them.
Rainbow. Okay,
For
thanks.
like 3 of them. You're like blue, yellow, red, blue, green, red. No, I'm like rainbow.
What an OG.
Get closer.
Taking all my space, you're like getting over into my space.
Scooch over if you want more space. I took a lot of space. Oh, my head hurts.
Helium's not been changed yet.
Are you watching my stream?
No, I quit it because you were all like being sassy. You told me that you were going to quit your stream. 0 messages. Stream health is excellent.
Yeah, it means that it's streaming nice. Let's change the thumbnail. Let's see, let's find a good photo to put on my thumbnail. Okay, that's gonna be my thumbnail. Nice.
Go
That's
off.
Gucci, bro.
He's gonna see you.
No, he's not. I'm a magician.
You're not a fucking magician. I feel like crap.
Then you should watch my live stream because it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Ooh.
Why? I'm pretty sure that's your fault. I have like 2 notifications.
Oh god, I'm gonna feel so bad. Oh, I don't feel bad. Okay.
What? Okay.
Oh, I like it. It's like a sand color.